Home Defense. By Albert Donald, Eddie Forbes was anxious to collect and sell as much scrap material as he could so that he would be able to buy defense saving stamps with the proceeds. Eddie lived with his parents in a middle-class section of a suburban community. One Saturday afternoon, Eddie was looking over his collections in the garage and trying to determine whether there was enough to take down to the junk dealers when he heard someone working at the garage door. Eddie's mother and father were away. For several moments, Eddie wondered what to do. Perhaps the intruder was just one of the tradesmen delivering bread or groceries. The 11-year-old lad went to investigate. When he opened the garage door, a burly man pushed into the garage and said, "You alone, kid?" "What do you want?" Eddie asked. "I'm collecting scrap materials," declared the man. Eddie didn't like the way the fellow said this, but decided that the best way to gain time would be to fall in with the man's pose. "I've been saving newspapers and rags and things," replied Eddie. "That's penny ante stuff," sneered the man. "How about automobile tires? That's the stuff. Your old man has some good rubber on his car here. Just the thing I'm looking for." Eddie started to object, but the man drew a gun. With a snarl on his face, he said, "Listen, son, I hope we're not going to have any trouble. I wouldn't want to have to get tough with you." Eddie stood by helplessly as the robber jacked up the car, took off the tires, and prepared to roll them away. He knew that because of the federal tire rationing regulations, it would be impossible for his father to get any new tires, and Mr. Forbes needed his car and his business. The young lad cast about in his mind for something that he might use as a weapon against the holdup man. The crook looked at him now and then, but the boy's lack of resistance had given the criminal confidence. Suddenly, Eddie's hand went up on the shelf and came down. His arm arced forward, and a missile sped through the air, struck the hold-up man on the side of the head, and he keeled over on the floor. Immediately, Eddie rushed into the house, picked up the telephone, and called the local police department. Within a few minutes, the welcome sound of a siren came to his ears, and he saw the familiar blue-coated figures running up the driveway from the radio car. "Where is he?" Officer Murphy asked. "Right there," pointed Eddie. "He was trying to get away with my father's tires." "Begorra," laughed Murphy. "It's Phil the Rat. He's been stripping autos all around the country. You've done a good job here, but how did a youngster like you catch him off guard?" Eddie pointed to the missile he had used. It lay alongside Phil's head. "It was my ball of tinfoil. I've been saving it for defense stamps. They're paying good money for tinfoil now." "Sure, it's heavy as a cannonball and just as effective," Officer Murphy declared. "With fellows like you around, Eddie, we won't be having to worry about fellows like Phil the Rat, or any of them Axis fellows either." Eddie Forbes was pleased, particularly when the police related his part in the capture to his father, and Mr. Forbes expressed his pride in his son.